No one expected the silence to feel this loud. It was the kind of silence that hangs in the air right before a seismic shift, right before history rearranges itself. Somewhere in a dimly lit studio, surrounded by scattered scraps of melody and half-finished lyrics, a young artist stared at the glowing console in front of him. His name was Jungkook, a name the world already knew, but not yet in the way it was about to. This moment would ignite something extraordinary, something that would eventually propel his debut solo album, Golden, into the ranks of the top 12 best-selling albums by male solo artists in the entire world during the 2020s. That's not how the story begins. It begins with a question: what does a global superstar do when the world already thinks they know him? Jungkook had spent years capturing hearts as the golden magne of BTS, dominating stages across continents, collecting awards, breaking streaming records, redefining what it meant to be a pop icon. But beneath the spotlights and the stadium roars, there lived a quiet hunger and urge to peel back the layers, to create something that wasn't just loved, but understood. Something undeniably his. So late one night, when the world was asleep and the sky was a deep bruise of blue, he pressed record. That simple gesture set off a chain reaction. Beats and harmonies unfolded like constellations. The songs that would become golden didn't emerge in a single burst of brilliance. They arrived slowly, like memories resurfacing. Each track carried its own weight, the shimmer of desire, the ache of longing, the thrill of freedom. It was modern pop threaded with R&B warmth, polished with stadium-ready hooks. A sound built for global charts. A sound built for longevity, but what fascinated everyone wasn't just the music, it was the transformation. Golden wasn't simply an album release, it was a revelation. The world saw Jungkook step forward not as part of one of the most influential groups on earth, but as a solo artist capable of commanding the global music industry on his own. Streams surged. Critics were stunned. Fans felt the shift immediately. This wasn't just a project, it was a milestone, and yet, nobody realized just how big it would become. As release day approached, anticipation curled through social media like electricity. Search engines lit up with queries about the new Jungkook album. Reaction videos flooded YouTube within hours. TikTok trends exploded. Everywhere you looked, one word kept resurfacing: Golden. The week of release unfolded like a cinematic montage. Millions of streams poured in from every corner of the globe: Tokyo, London, Sao Paulo, Los Angeles. Fans described the album as addictive, emotional, hypnotic. Industry analysts began predicting major milestones, but even they underestimated the momentum building behind the scenes. Jungkook was doing something no male solo artist of the decade had managed to do with such precision. He was turning raw anticipation into historic numbers. But here's where the twist enters the story, because success on this scale isn't just about talent or popularity. It's about timing, courage, and something even more unpredictable: resonance. Listeners weren't just playing the songs. They were replaying them, sharing them, internalizing them. The emotions woven into the album were becoming part of people's lives, their routines, their memories. That kind of impact is what separates an album that charts well from an album that defines an era, and quietly, without any grand announcement, Golden began climbing into a category so exclusive that most artists never come close. It accelerated past dozens of global releases, securing its position among the top 12 best-selling albums by male solo artists in the entire 2020s decade. Think about that for a moment. Not just the best-selling K-pop albums. Not just the best-selling Asian solo albums. The best-selling worldwide among male solo artists across every genre. Rock, pop, R&B, hip-hop, electronic. All of them, this was more than a chart statistic. It was a rewriting of the global narrative. Jungkook wasn't just participating in the international music scene, he was shaping it, and yet the most astonishing part of the story is how effortless it all looked from the outside. Fans saw sold-out performances, viral live streams, polished choreography. But behind every breakthrough was a decision Jungkook had made long before the world heard a single note of Golden. He was going to create music that lived honestly inside him. Music that didn't follow the trend but became the trend. Even now, when you listen to the opening track or the final notes of the album, you can feel the heartbeat of the story behind it. There's triumph there, and vulnerability, and an echo of the quiet determination that started everything. There's a reason people still talk about Golden, still stream it, still analyze its production and lyrics. Great music doesn't just climb charts, it creates its own gravitational pull, and that's exactly what Jungkook did. As the world moves deeper into the decade, one thing is becoming increasingly clear: Golden isn't just a successful debut. It's a landmark in global pop culture. A testament to what happens when artistry, passion, and courage intersect at exactly the right moment. And the story isn't finished. Far from it. Its influence is still unfolding, still growing, still shaping conversations in the music industry. So if you're watching this, and you want to be part of the journey not just as an observer but as someone who truly understands why Jungkook's Golden became one of the decade's defining albums, now is the perfect time to dive deeper. Revisit the music. Explore the meaning behind each track. Share the story with someone who needs a spark of inspiration today, because stories like this don't happen often. And when they do, they deserve to be heard all the way to the end.